Hi, everybody. So, yesterday I talked a little bit about the fact that asking the question, is Avrion Pictures setting up the after film adaptation to fail? And today I kind of wanted to talk about, can this film succeed despite the studio? And you know what? To be honest, I think it can. Because when you look at the numbers for the trailer, when you look at the views for the trailer, again, this trailer got to 14 million views because of the fans, not because of the studio, throwing like some big marketing push behind it, or putting this thing like on Good Morning America or MTV, or doing like this big trailer release thing. No, it was the fans. It was people like you who were watching this video. And so the question is, can it succeed? And I think it can. But now the question becomes, what does a success look like? What does success look like for this film? Now, first of all, the big question hanging over the film is, what will it be rated? And that is a big question, because when I look at, when I look around and I see the ages of the fans, I see that some of them are kind of under the age of 17, which could, if they do decide to go R-rated on this film, could end up hurting the film a little bit. But I would suggest that, do your best to talk your parents into, buying you tickets. And actually, you know what? For the most part, theaters don't care. They pretend like they do, but they really don't. As long as you don't give them a reason to care, they really don't. Because even when I was a kid, I lost count of how many films I got into that I probably shouldn't have. The theaters just did not care. For the most part, theaters don't care. They're not paid to care. They don't get paid nearly enough to really, stop you. So, as long as you don't give them a reason to, as long as you don't look, say 5 years old or something like that. They just won't care. They'll just wave you on. They'll just sell you the ticket. Um, but yeah, at this point, you're gonna need the fans. You're gonna need, to get out there. You're gonna need to start talking to your friends. You're gonna need to start talking to, people that and saying, hey, there's this, really great thing coming out that you might not know about, but if you give me about a couple of minutes, I might be able to pitch you on it. And just talk it up. Just talk it up to this person or that person. Talk it up to friends, family, whoever. Just spread the word that this film is coming out, because right now I can tell you, the studio probably does not care. The studio is not gonna do some big marketing push behind this. I don't know how much money they're sinking into this thing, but I can tell you right now that there was another movie that came out from the same studio called Serenity, that after the film came out, now first of all, that film was a piece of shit. There's no way around it. Excuse me if anybody got offended by what I just said, but yes, that film was just a steaming pile of shit, and the studio knew that it was a steaming pile of shit. So they said, hey, you know what? We're not gonna, put any marketing behind it. We're not gonna really, put out, 50 million TV spots. We're not gonna, do like a big marketing blitz for it. But then Stephen Knight, Matthew McConaughey, and Anne Hathaway accused them of not marketing this film, which after watching the film, I can very much understand why. But I'm starting to wonder if that's what Anna Todd and the actors and the producers and the directors are going to accuse them of after this film opens, which is why I'm hoping that the fandom can come together and maybe even, spread the word to a general audience and ask them, and try to pitch it to them that way, so they don't have to come out and accuse the studio of not marketing this film. I still want them to, because I do think that the studio has, very much, under marketed this thing, has not really done like this big push behind it. But then the big question is, like, what does success look like? Like, how much is this? How much money does it need to make to be considered a success? Like I said in the video yesterday, Avrion's Pictures' highest grossing film is only about $34 million, and that was the 2017 Kidnap movie with Halle Berry that came out back in 2017. I think that is their highest grossing film to date, so I would honestly say that for Afternators, that's what we gotta beat. We gotta beat, 34 million. Looking at the trailer, I'm not talking about the quality of the film, because the quality of the film looks great, but looking at the trailer, it doesn't look like they splurged in terms of the marketing. It would not surprise me if the marketing was like around 20 million, like 10, 15, $20 million, because other than Peter Gallagher and Selma Blair. There's really like no big names in this thing, like no big names that would really, you know, command a, you know, multi-million dollar paycheck. No offense to the actors though. But yeah, they're not names yet, so there's like nobody in here that, you know, will just skyrocket the budget, you know, up to an exorbitant amount of money where, you know, analysts are looking at the studio and going like, who would ever spend this kind of money? You know, who would ever, you know, put this kind of budget behind this movie? Um, because a little insider baseball, that is sometimes what, you know, skyrockets a budget is the actor's salary. The actor's salary goes into the budget. So if an actor, you know, commands like a 10, 15, 20 million dollar, you know, salary, well, guess what? Your budget is now at $20 million. Uh, if an actor, well, I mean, you get what I'm saying with that. But yeah, there's no actors in here that, you know, is like, you know, demanding a huge amount of money. It wouldn't surprise me if even some of these actors even took like a pay cut, like Peter Gallagher or Selma Blair. It wouldn't surprise me if they took like a little bit of a pay cut to keep the budget low. It wouldn't surprise me if the producers, the director, I wouldn't be surprised if they have done stuff to keep the budget low, because when you listen to them talk about this film, you can tell how passionate they are. You can tell how much they do want to continue this thing. So I don't think that they ballooned the budget up to like this exorbitant amount that like nobody could ever beat this thing. Nobody could ever, you know, make that kind of money. But yeah, look, can it succeed? Yes. Will it succeed? I think so. And I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I think so. I'm not at the point where I'm going to be a little bit hesitant to say I think so. But the studio's got to get a little bit better. The studio has to, you know, put a little bit more behind this film. Because I think the actors are doing the best they can. I think Anna Todd is doing the best that she can. I think the producers are doing the best they can. But again, when you don't have a studio behind you, when you have a studio who has seemed like they pretty much have given up on you, there's not a lot that you can do. But yeah, like I said, if you want this film to succeed, you need to get out there. You need to, you know, start, you know, telling people about this film. You need to start spreading the word. And that's the most important thing about this. For this film to succeed, if you want a second movie, if you want the After film series to continue, you need to go see this film. No waiting for streaming, not waiting for a DVD or Blu-ray, not waiting to pirate it. You need to get your ass into a theater on April 12th. You need to get your ass into the theaters before it leaves. Because I can tell you right, I don't know if they're gonna, you know, play this game of, well, we'll add in streaming, we'll add in DVD, Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure that if you want Avrion Pictures to, you know, go ahead and greenlight, because this is the next big thing. One of the things that I could not stand about the 50 Shades franchise is that they waited so long to shoot the second and third movies. Is that even though in, you know, the film timeline, it's only supposed to be like a couple of days or maybe even a week or so, when you look at how the actors look, you know, from film 1 to film 2 and even film 3, they look like a year has passed. They look like it's been God knows how long since they filmed the first one. And I do not want to see that happen to this film. So like I said, if you want to see a second film, if you are somebody who's going to get on Twitter, you know, right after you get out of the theater, or, you know, even leading up to the release, you know, screaming and yelling, hey, when are we going to get a second one? When are we going to get, you know, another one? You need to get your ass into that theater opening weekend. If not opening weekend, then opening week. But this thing needs to make money while it's in theaters, because I don't know if they're going to play the game of, well, we'll, you know, oh, well, you know, we'll wait for streaming. Oh, it'll do much better on streaming, DVD, Blu-ray, you know, what have you, pirating. Yeah, because that's always a gamble. In the industry, that always is a gamble, because a lot of the films that I've seen, you know, where they, you know, all of a sudden do a sequel, for every, let me put it like this, for every Pitch Perfect, because the first Pitch Perfect, it didn't make a lot of money in theaters, but then it, you know, exploded like on DVD, on streaming, on, you know, reruns, on, you know, like on TV. And so, you know, all of a sudden, you know, they took a gamble. You know, they played Russian roulette with it, and they, did a sequel, and guess what? The sequel exploded, and then we got, this huge franchise. But again, for every Pitch Perfect, there's a Kick-Ass. And I think every studio out there knows that for every Pitch Perfect, there is a Kick-Ass. Look up Kick-Ass if you don't know what I'm talking about when I talk about Kick-Ass, but just to give you like a quick, tiny summary. The first Kick-Ass comes out, doesn't do all that great in theaters, seems to gain, this huge following on DVD, Blu-ray. So they say, hey, you know what? We're going to do a sequel. We're going to do a second one. Second one comes out. The second one, does even worse in theaters. And, then it just completely falls apart. So again, I don't know how much longer studios are going to play that game of, oh, well, we'll wait for streaming. We'll wait for DVD, Blu-ray. We'll wait for like all that stuff to come in. No, you need to get your ass into the theaters to go see this film. If you want a second film, you need to go see the first one. So yeah, jump down to the comment section below. Let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to click the like button. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you later. After Naders. Take care.